Okay, Wednesday, 20/08/2025. Market recap. So, yesterday on Tuesday, we said we were heavy. CE dropped down, hit both targets, which were these lows and the fair value gap. Now, today, we open up and we literally just fill our like the current volume imbalance that we make basically. Like, just think of it as an immediate rebalance, probably around the CE on like the lower time frame for the gap inversion, and we start dropping down. So it's heavy. What I expected for Wednesday was for us maybe to rebalance slightly in this range and then start dropping, but it looked like we're heavy. This drop, I said I expected on Thursday for us to make something like start shocking everybody, like how far of a range. But the fact that we've done it on Wednesday today just says there's two more options now. Is Thursday tomorrow, we just go ahead and get to the targets that we need to get to, which are this low. And once we do that, Friday we'll just rebalance the range, right? Or this would be the target for the week. I don't think so, because we're already heavy. We might as well stay heavy, but it could be, we basically just trade based on what price opens, like what's the most likely probabilities and stuff like that. But this has been achieved, this has been achieved, this has been achieved. This is some I'm looking at, but it might be pushing it for this week, and we might stall the Thursday and Friday because it's Jackson Hole week, Jackson Hole days, right? We might just do seek and destroy, high resistance up and down or something, if that was our weekly target, right? And I'm gonna show you in the lower time frames how heavy we were, right? Just look at this. We open and gone, right? And then the second that we start dropping, it's just candles going down, 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 barely going up for like rebalancing of anything. You're just dropping down all the way to the sell side liquidity, right? All of this range is basically within an hour. This whole candle daily range basically was done within 1 hour, taking out days, right? And if like looking at the summer months earlier, that would be like days, right? In just one day, that relatively didn't have news like that. I think what we had it from Siemens at like 2 by 11. The news didn't even drop, but we still went to the target before news, right? So just shows how heavy we were. All right, let's drop down to what price actually done. So yesterday, as I said, we go from new weekly opening gap to new weekly opening gap, right? That's targets. So as you can see yesterday, boom, we hit the new weekly opening gap, drop all the way to the other new weekly opening gap. What I expected us to do is, well, it depends on how we open. How we open and stuff, which would be to rebalance a bit of the range, go to the 15 gap, and then start dropping. But we opened heavy, we literally took previous daily low instantly and started dropping down. This looks like a 2022 model actually. Let me see. Yep, right there. So we take the new daily opening gap. I'm pretty sure we fill the bodies on the lower time frame and then just go down, because we're that heavy. Create some short-term buy side liquidity with that gap. Go up, take the liquidity initially, and then take it again, then take it again. So we just keep creating liquidity and taking it for the upside. Hit the 15-minute fair value gap, then I can't remember how the 2022 model goes realistically, like the rules. I think this would count as a market structure shift. Then I guess you dropped like a lower time frame. Try catch a fair value gap within the above the equilibrium. So this gap, you'd allow it to trade for this gap, stop loss above here, right? You can see it never hits it, and then it starts dropping, right? So if, and you can see like that gap match with the new weekly opening gap, right? Low for an old new weekly opening gap. So if you can see, we went from that high of a new weekly opening gap, right, to the high, to the CE, and then to the low. Just confirm every single point, and 9:30, that sets up for us to open and just go, right? Just ready for them. When volatility comes, price got somewhere to be. And of course, these relative equal lows, and probably there's some, yeah, relative equal lows here, whatever. But this was the target. Well, I didn't expect this speed, right? Because yesterday we open and go to the point that we don't even feel 25% of the opening range gap. So today I expected, slightly bit of manipulation, a bit, we did show that we want to go somewhere with speed. I expect both days to be that fast, especially that we still didn't hit Jackson Hole yet. It's still tomorrow and Friday. If that was the case for them days, fair enough. But the fact that I went with this speed, I was confused. So again, not even 25% of the opening range gap, and then we start dropping. I'm looking at it, right? I was like, okay, we might want to sweep, or we might let the 2022 model play out. So I'm there in the 1 minute. Checking. One of my models come, and then I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna take this inverse. On the 15-second is marked. Very sure. Allowed price to like go above it. It didn't. It's respecting the CE. Respecting the CE, goes down, right? And then goes up here and there. I'm just there waiting for 1 more minute, because I have a rule for myself. It's not the best one, but it does help me from not just jumping in the markets too quickly, which is I can't trade anything before 9:40. So I was there just saying please, right? Waiting for this price to just stall at the invest till 9:40. And the second 9:40 would hit, I would have shorted here. It drops at 9:39 and then goes and doesn't come back. And then when I seen it go this far down, I was like, yeah, it's gone. Right? Even if it goes up, I need to like evaluate it again. Right? But it goes down. Let's go back to 1 minute. So this is all clear. Goes down, as you can see, it goes back to the older block, and from there it's gone. Right? When it did this, I was like, yeah, GG, I lost it. Right? I'm gonna have to come back and watch. Right? Because this signature just means it's gonna go. It's basically like there, right? It's gonna go. There might be something to catch, but the stop loss is gonna be wide, and that's not my style. So I'll just come back for lunch. We go all the way down to the target. That low-key kind of pissed me off because I was expecting these targets for like last week, and I couldn't catch it twice. Yesterday I was sleeping, and today, I missed it by a minute basically because of one of my rules. But I'm glad that I followed my rule. If I put it there, I put it there for a reason. If I'm going to reevaluate it, I need like bunch of reasons to change it, right? And I'm just going to stick to it. If it made me miss a move, it is what it is. At least I know for sure it saved me tons of accounts, because that was the only reason I was blowing accounts, is because I was trading before 9:40. I noticed that, and then I just cut it off. So yeah, anyway, we go to the sell side, and the second that we go to the sell side, we stop. It's like, okay, we might do a sweep, we might go back to 50%. What's 50% of the range? 50% of the range, right there, right? So I'll mark these gaps, expecting like a similar another 2022 model basically for lunch, or something like that, or any other lunch model that I have to play out. And it wasn't there. We've just done it too early, right? So I'm gonna go through the whys, I guess, to the trade. So I took a long here on paper. I can't remember the thing it was. I think it was just a sweep. I looked for a 15-second breaker, and I just entered long. But just look at the manipulation, right? Look at all these green candles, bro. Just one little order block, boom, and just straight green candles. Like, this ain't how normal markets move. This is why I hate this week. Like, August and Jackson Hole, like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, this ain't no joke ranges as well. Like, this, this is something, you know? And you can't just have green candles like that, no retracement, nothing. It's just don't make sense, you know? Just don't make sense. It just shows the manipulation. Anyway, I'm expecting launch model to play out. And I'm looking down, I'm like, what's the only thing that could stop price from plummeting to these lows? Because yeah, they don't look like safe lows to me. And also, oh, and also we got the new weekly opening gap as like a final target for the day if we really want to stay heavy, right? And sell the idea that we're going up for the day, right? Just like yesterday, we sold the idea that we're going up, stopped. I think this is around lunch, and then we've done it again here, and then drop for the end of the day, right? So if we're gonna do that, we're gonna hit the new weekly opening gap. Anyway, for lunch here, I expected it to play. We did push a bit further than we should. We should have stopped around this order block. That already made me sus. So I took the long all the way to equilibrium. It's basically about this high, but it was on paper because I do not trust the manipulation. And then I marked this breaker, expecting us to push price a bit higher for like this order block, which would then, whatever model happens here, whatever I guess pattern, whatever like what price does here would be indicating to me if we're gonna go higher or start dropping lower. So when it did this, it was sus, but it was still somewhat to like take and then go for a quick break even. So I took it and then it started invalidating stuff right here. And I think I moved my stop loss down to like 500 in profit. So took a small profit for the day. I guess the model failed because we have reached our target, and then we finally go ahead and go back and rebalance the whole range that we've done, right? So if in the morning, if you think about it, when we dropped, if we're not going to go up again, somewhere here we should have stopped, go back, and like head back to these lows, right? So we offer sell side and we offer buy side, right? And then start dropping. If we did that, we were not gonna go up this high. Just like yesterday, basically, like if you think about it. We drop, we go up from the second that we offer buy side. We offer buy side again after offering sell side, and then we don't need to go back to this area again, right? The only place that we could have went back to is this area, but we were so heavy and we left it. 2222 model here dropped. We were so heavy to target that we didn't even bother to rebalance the range here. And when we went ahead all the way to the target, which makes us, I guess, not have a launch model for today, and makes us go all the way back up to rebalance the range after hitting the target. Notice how fast this is, notice how slow this is, right? This is the high time frame target, this is the intraday target, right? This is external range liquidity, and this is back to internal range liquidity. What's after this? I think, yeah, that low with this cluster of new weekly opening gaps therefore looks like the target. Even though that we went up this much and rebalanced, I still think that will be our weekly target, unless Jackson Hole does, I don't know, some weird stuff. So mainly I'm going to be looking tomorrow is this wick, right? I would want us to close through the CE, right? If we don't, if we start respecting it, Then I'm gonna look for some rebalancing, basically us to take previous daily high, which will come at, I think, somewhere around here. So it'll be these relative equal highs, probably a bump to here, right, to this gap that we left, and then start a dump, or maybe let Friday dump it. Not sure, not sure, but that's the bias. Still bearish. Doesn't matter how. We could still go up and then go down. We could we could have enough down here and then do something in midnight, blah blah, blah, and then go down, whatever. Bias still bearish. Hopefully I can actually catch a proper sell. It doesn't have to just open and go every time and just leave me. This pissed me off, man. One more minute and I would have called this whole thing, but it is who's that been? Let me see. It is what it is. At least I can see it. I can, call it out a week prior, and hopefully next time be able to execute on it. Anyway, this is the recap. And yeah.